Good morning, retail traders. I'm Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy, and I'm going to show you the snake we had on last week on the SPY, which was a great, beautiful example of how to trade the snake, and we're going to go right into it. This sneaky snake trading strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. Well, last week we had Black Monday, which we had a pretty good 3-day sell-off, which was the indicator to be watching this trade. And then we had that big sell-off on Monday, and it was just like a beautiful, like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was what JP Morgan or somebody came out and called us retail traders sissies because we got out of the trade. I got into the trade. I bought the dip. I'm always buying the dip. That's what I do. I buy the dip. I like to buy it at support and sell it at resistance. So here we got the snake, breakout, pullback, and the boom. And let's go ahead and chart up the snake right now. We'll get that out of the way. If you know how to count to 3, you can trade with me. Now we had a triple bottom, and then we had a triple top up here. And I'm going to color them in to show you how clean and how to find the sweet spot when you're trading the snake. It's called waves, I guess. One guy explained it this morning. But there's 1, 2, and then your third breakout right here. Or the third hit. Pretty close, much to it. Then we had the breakout. She pulled back just to consolidate. Created the pattern. I said, look for the pattern. Pattern's right here. We had inverse head and shoulders, and I'm going to extend that out to the right. So that's the inverse head and shoulders at the bottom of the channel. That's when I knew we had a buy signal on the pullback. It created that inverse head and shoulders. And then we had an overhead resistance to run it on up to try to find resistance, and that was the 200 SMA. So we had the snake, breakout, pullback for the entry. That'd be the second touch on the right shoulder of the inverse head and shoulders. I always say they come back and they'll touch it that second time. So you got your left shoulder, right shoulder. We had the breakout, took the trade, scalped this. I scalped this every day last week. Then we had the pullback on Friday. I even scalped it on then, bought the puts and the calls. And then we had what you call the right shoulder touch right here, and we run up and hit the 200 SMA. And that was an exit idea once you hit that 200 SMA. That's what I called. I said, we're going to come back up and hit this 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. And I was scalping this thing last week in minutes. I put the minute time frame up, and I was trading off of it all day long, all week long. And then just knowing that I found support down here off that right shoulder the second time gave me a key idea to take this trade on Monday. And we had 3 white soldiers come into the scene, and that is continuation pattern to the upside. Again, 3 black crows into an inverse head and shoulders, and then we had 3 white soldiers into the breakout up to the 200 SMA, and we retouched that 200 SMA. We pulled back that morning, and I really loved this trade on Friday because I knew what I was looking for one thing. And I knew that I had to hit that resistance one more time for a double top. And it's all about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. So when you start reading a chart without any big, huge indicators or any slow stochastics. It comes to be a lot clearer, and you see a lot of things that you wish you would have saw on your own without a slow stochastic trying to tell you when to take the trade. So I'm taking price action. You know, if I come down here and I see 3 black crows in the morning, I'm going to jump in this trade on the 1 hour time frame. Same thing here, 3 black crows, boom. Then we had 3 black crows right here and we pulled back, but we were aiming for that right shoulder on that inverse head and shoulders. So that was a SPY. It was a fun trade last week. Now what's it going to do this week? We can continue sideways. We could continue sideways all week long, and I'm expecting a lot of volatility into the election. Wall Street thinks they're going to win the election by pumping the market up, and that's what they've been trying to do for Biden, and it's just not going to work. It's just the economy's in too bad. They're rich. They don't go out and buy groceries. They don't go out and put gas in their car. They don't try to scrimmage to pay utility bill to keep themselves warm every year. They probably don't even look at bills. They just hand it over to some accountant. Someone else does all the work for them. So they got money to play around with, and they're making a ton of money during this administration. Just a ton of it. Ton of it. More than I've ever, I mean, just Buffett probably tripled his income. Just think about that. He's probably worth a couple $100 billion now. When I first started trading with him, it was only worth about $60 billion. Not even that much. But when Obama came, he tripled his income. And then when Biden came, he done the same damn thing. It's because they print all this money. There's all that liquidity in the market, but it's all going to freeze up one day, and we're going to have a big pullback, if not before the election. But we're going to be volatile. I'd be very careful. I'd use a little patience in your trading. And we'll just see if we pull back to this support level off this shoulder line one more time. We'll probably stop short and hit this little spot right here, right around 520 area. So that's what I'm going to be looking for next week. I'm just going to be charting it out, and we'll see what happens. But we did hit a hard resistance, and it can break. And if this does break this 200, we can move up to higher levels real easily. We could run up to 540 by the end of the week, or by the middle of the week, or even a little bit higher, and retrace back to the top on this here 2-week time frame, which is right around the 550 area. Personally, I want to see it pull back and consolidate. We did have a snake breakout, pull back, and now we could get a boom. So it's all about this pivot point right here, this price line. And if we either hold it next week, 532.96 to the penny, to the penny, to the penny. 532.96. And if we break that, it'll now become support. If not, we'll pull back, and then it will become resistance again for a triple top breakout. It's all about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. Well, this is a SPY, and I'm going to show you a way that I occupy my time. I did for a while, and that was paint. I painted 80 paintings of ocean views, and I've gave a few of them away already, just one after another. I got my crows in here. I have to go back and put crows in this one. I don't see them in there. They need to be in there, my 3 black crows. So this is a sneaky snake trading strategy. Keep an eye. We had a great week last week. I knew what to look for. We had Black Monday, which was just a perfect opportunity to buy the dip. I mean, buy the dip. Real good, buy the dip. I was all excited about it. Myself, I come in here flabbergasted because I love catching knives. The sneaky snake trading strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And have a great week. Be cautious, be patient. We're going to have volatility into the election year. It's either you have a choice, you go socialist to the T, or you stay capitalist and vote Trump. Yabba dabba doo.